Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. Vietnam and China to further deepen ties during President Xi's state visit. Meaningful tour to historical sites in Ho Chi Minh City. About 600 international delegates to attend P4G summit in Vietnam. At the invitation of General Secretary To Lâm and President Lương Cường, today Chinese President and General Secretary Xi Jinping arrived in Vietnam, beginning his official state visit from the 14th to the 15th of April. The visit has garnered widespread attention from both domestic and international media, as well as from political analysts and experts around the world. This marks General Secretary and President Xi Jinping's first overseas visit of 2025 and his fourth trip to Vietnam as China's top leader. The visit highlights high regard that the Chinese Party, State and President Xi personally attached to strengthening the traditional friendship and comprehensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and China. This visit comes at a meaningful moment, marking the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Vietnam and China. It is both a tribute to our shared history and a gateway to future cooperation. China looks forward to working closely with Vietnam to seize this opportunity to reinforce the time-honored friendship of being both comrades and brothers, strengthen strategic mutual trust, and deepen substantive, results-oriented cooperation. In the lead-up to the visit, Xinhua News Agency characterized General Secretary Xi Jinping's three-nation tour of Southeast Asia as a journey of peace, cooperation, prosperity, integration, and solidarity. That Vietnam is the first stop on this trip highlights not only the significance, but also the symbolic weight of the bilateral relationship. This is a highly significant visit by the Chinese leader to Vietnam, underscoring the continuous strengthening of bilateral ties. Both Vietnam and China have placed mutual priority on their diplomatic relations. China regards Vietnam as a key priority in its neighboring diplomacy, while Vietnam views China as a central focus in its comprehensive multilateral foreign policy. An article published on Hunan Daily on April the 12th titled, "Following President Xi Jinping's visit to Vietnam, a deep friendship between Vietnam and China, comrades and brothers," recounts the key milestones of General Secretary and President Xi Jinping's past visits to Vietnam. The article quotes President Xi as saying, "In the hearts of our generation, President Ho Chi Minh is considered the dearest friend of the Chinese people and reaffirms the close bonds between the two neighboring countries." The high-level visit by the leaders of both nations reaffirms the deep, enduring ties between our countries, forever vibrant and unbreakable. This visit comes at a pivotal moment for both countries as Vietnam embarks on significant institutional reforms and infrastructure advancements to drive the nation's development in preparation for the 14th National Congress of the Communist Party of Vietnam. At the same time, China is entering the final year of its 14th five-year plan. The visit of President and General Secretary Xi Jinping is expected to serve as a landmark in Vietnam-China relations, providing a strong momentum and laying a solid foundation for the growth of both parties and nations. On April the 13th, ships 015 Trần Hưng Đạo and 016 Quang Trung of the Vietnam People's Navy arrived at Beihai Military Port in Beihai City, Guangxi Province, China, starting activities within the framework of the 9th Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange and the 38th Joint Patrol in the Gulf of Tonkin with the Chinese Navy. After a three-day voyage, ships 015 and 016 arrived in China as planned. The welcoming ceremony for the Vietnam People's Navy delegation at Bay Hai Military Port was solemnly held. The Chinese Navy representative expressed pleasure at meeting the Vietnamese Navy delegation and hoped that the visit and exchange in China would leave many good impressions on the members. The head of the Vietnamese Navy delegation expressed his belief that these exchange activities and joint patrols will help further enhance the understanding and trust between both countries' militaries and navies, while implementing the common perception of the two parties and countries' senior leaders on promoting defense security cooperation more substantively. In the lead-up to the 9th Vietnam-China Body Defense Friendship Exchange scheduled for the 16th to the 17th of April in Lạng Sơn Province, Vietnam and Guangxi Province, China, recent free health checkups and medicine distribution activities have captured the hearts of residents along the borderline. From the 12th to the 13th of April, under the direction of both Ministries of National Defense, military medical teams from Vietnam and China jointly provided free health checkups and medicines to over 3,000 local people, bringing both care and joy to remote communities. April brings sweltering heat of early summer to the Vietnam-China border areas. Yet, the scorching sun did little to deter the dedication and professionalism of the military medical personnel involved. At each mobile clinic, hundreds of residents gathered, patiently awaiting their turn with visible gratitude and hopes. I am truly touched by the care and attention of the military medical staff. I hope this program continues to expand. Local people have great faith in the party and its policies. Beyond medical care, this program also provided an important platform for professional exchange. The Vietnamese delegation, with key personnel from the Military Institute of Traditional Medicine, exchanged with doctors from Hospital 923 of the Joint Logistics Support Force of the People's Liberation Army of China on bone adjustment and acupuncture, areas in which Chinese traditional medicine is particularly renowned for. This exchange has yielded several important outcomes. First, we've provided effective treatments for locals. Second, we've fostered academic exchange. And third, it opened promising opportunities for further cooperation and knowledge sharing. This activity is of great significance. It strengthens mutual understanding and makes access to healthcare more convenient for patients. Above all, it serves as a bridge for ongoing medical exchange between the two sides. These free healthcare activities and the Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange are meaningful contributions to nurturing the traditional friendship and solidarity between the two nations. On April the 13th, the Ministry of National Defense Parade Subcommittee organized a tour to historical sites in Ho Chi Minh City for the forces participating in the military parade in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification. The forces have chance to visit Củ Chi Tunnels, Ho Chi Minh Campaign Museum, War Remnants Museum, Nha Rong Wharf, and Reunification Hall, Independence Palace, historical site. This is an important opportunity for them to have a more comprehensive view of Vietnam's military art and the resilience of the Vietnamese forces through the periods of national liberation struggle. First time visiting Ho Chi Minh City and touring Củ Chi Tunnels, though seeing many photos and footage on television, many officers and soldiers in the Air Defense Air Force formations are very surprised when going through very small tunnels and passages used by soldiers of the Vietnam People's Armies as strategic bases during the National Resistance War. This is the first time I've visited Ho Chi Minh City and Củ Chi Tunnels. I found them a very solid and sturdy underground defense system. It's one of the premises to make great victories for the nation. The tour to the Reunification Hall, the Independence Palace historical site, also leaves a strong impression on the hearts of the officers and soldiers. Especially during the tour to Nhà Rồng Wharf, the officers and soldiers have a chance to see many valuable artifacts, photos and documents about Uncle Ho's life. Earlier, I had only seen images on newspapers. Today, I've come here and directly seen the artifacts. Those symbolize the aspiration for peace, independence and reunification. I'm really touched. The forces participating in the military parade had a meaningful and relaxing tour on the weekend after days of hard training. That is a great source of encouragement for them to be more confident and determined to demonstrate heroic steps on the great day of the whole country. On April the 13th, the Ho Chi Minh City Martyrs Family Support Association, the Liaison Board of Division 5 and the Bình Phước Border Guard Command organized a visit to former battlefields and presented gifts to national contributors in Bù Gia Mập district. They also offered support to officers and soldiers stationed at Border Guard Post in Bình Phước Province, marking the 50th anniversary of the South Liberation and National Reunification Day. The delegation visited and delivered gifts to wounded veterans and needy national contributors in the locality. Coming up next, about 600 international delegates to attend P4G Summit in Vietnam. Chang'an Festival 2025 opens. The UN Deputy Secretary General, 3 Prime Ministers, several Deputy Prime Ministers and Foreign Ministers of countries will visit Vietnam and attend the Partnership for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030 Summit. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, about 600 delegates from over 40 countries and international organizations have registered to attend the event, both in person and online. These include P4G member countries, partners, investment funds, research institutes, scholars, businesses, and diplomatic missions. Vietnam has actively exchanged with P4G members and partners on the summit's theme and focused discussions, particularly those on policies that promote public-private partnership, attract investment, the maximization of resources for green transition, the application of technology and innovation to improve resource efficiency, reduce emissions, ensure sustainable energy transition, and prepare human resources for a green economy. On April the 13th at Chang'an Ecotourism Area, Ninh Bình Province, the Chang'an Festival 2025 took place with the theme Chang'an, a 1,000-year-old heritage, sacred soul of mountains and rivers. The festival honors the historical meanings and eternal value of Chang'an Scenic Landscape Complex to arouse the revolutionary tradition, the national pride of generations of people, and the cultural, historical, and religious values bearing the unique identity of an ancient capital in the heart of Chang'an Scenic Landscape Complex. The festival is an opportunity for local peoples and tourists to pray for national peace, favorable weather, and bountiful harvest, while honoring the ancestors who have contributed to the discovery and protection of the sacred land of Chang'an heritage. The annual Chang'an Festival is a unique cultural feature, closely associated with the outstanding global values of the Chang'an Scenic Landscape Complex World Heritage Site, while promoting the image of the complex to domestic and foreign tourists. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.